Thanks for joining us as we take a look back on our Taiwan and Japan trip of April 2025. Our journey starts on China Airlines flying Sydney to Taipei. Here we are on China Airlines. After settling in and getting comfortable, Evans had great pleasure in unpacking his complimentary accessories pack. The meals were served very promptly after takeoff. We had the chicken rice and the seafood pasta. Both meals were very good. After about a 9-hour journey, we commenced our descent into Taipei. Immigration clearance was fairly straightforward, and it took about 15 minutes to get through. Our arrival stamp confirms that we have up to 90 days to visit Taiwan. It's a shame we are only here for 4. Our first stop was to collect the Transit Easy cards which we had pre-ordered on Klook. After about a 15-minute queue, we received our cards and we went on our way. The Taipei metro system is modern, clean, and the signage is very easy to understand. It was not hard to navigate between stations. That being said, we did jump on the wrong train from the airport, but managed to switch to the correct line very easily further down the track. The metro ride into Taipei CBD took about 40 minutes or so. It was immediately obvious how green this country is. Majority of Taiwan's landscape is mountainous. Taiwan's subtropical climate means that these peaks are covered in beautiful green trees. The tallest mountain, Yushan, is just shy of 4,000 meters above sea level. This gives Taiwan the 4th highest maximum elevation of any island in the world. After arriving at Taipei main station and then becoming completely lost, we eventually found the ticket system to book in for the high-speed rail to go to Hsinchu later that afternoon. Hsinchu is a coastal city about 100 kilometers from Taipei. We are going so Evans can see his uncle and his grandmother, whom he hasn't seen for many years. We collected our tickets and aimed for the nearest exit. Taipei main station is huge. There are many underground levels and passages, so it was very easy to get lost. This station exit was nowhere near our hotel, so it gave us a chance to do some walking along the streets to see some of the scenery. At 7 o'clock in the morning, the temperature is a very pleasant 21 degrees, and the city seems calm. I've noticed that the locals here are very orderly. Everybody queues politely, and there is no pushing or shoving. It's quite a contrast to what I have experienced before in other Asian countries. We reached our hotel and were assigned a room 2410. Needless to say, we couldn't get into 2401. So back around the corner and we find the correct room, 2410. The room is very modern, but a little cozy. So the bed is up against the wall, but very comfortable. Not too bad. We have a beautiful outlook over Taipei City. We also have a balcony, but the door is locked so we can't use it. The bathroom is beautiful and modern, and it actually has a Toto Japanese toilet, so we have a bidet to wash ourselves. And into the shower, we have a bath and a lovely waterfall shower. There are lots of gadgets on the mirror as well. As we were both starving, we head off to find some food and to have a look at the local shops. And first up is 7-Eleven. Here we have some tea eggs, some baked goods, and some sausages. It didn't take long to realise that the Taiwanese love their baked goods, bubble tea and ice cream. After having some bubble tea and a Taiwanese sausage wrapped in a rice sausage for lunch, we head off to the Taipei main station for a look around before jumping on the high-speed rail. The Taipei main station atrium is impressive. It is vast and has beautiful architecture. There are no seats to sit and appreciate the space, and there are many signs saying that you may not bring your own seat to sit either. The high-speed rail arrives perfectly on schedule, and luckily for us, it's not a busy platform. Based on Japanese Shinkansen technology, the cabin is wide, modern, and the train will travel at up to 300 km per hour. Once again on this journey, we are able to see a significant amount of greenery between the high-rise buildings. After 32 minutes of travel, we pull into Hsinchu station to get off the train. Hsinchu has a population of 450,000. It is otherwise known as Taiwan's Silicon Valley. It is home to TSMC, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, which makes silicon chips for iPhones and other devices. Evans's uncle is collecting us from the station, and then we'll take a short drive to the apartment so that we can see Evans's grandmother.
This is very local driving. Because it's starting to get a bit chaotic. It's not too bad. There's not too many scooters.
This is very green.
This is still quite organised.
Once we had finished with the family, we then decided to look around the local neighbourhood. Evans's uncle's apartment is beautiful with lush green surroundings. We even managed to take a cute photo with this gorgeous bonsai tree. For a moment I thought that I had lost Evans, but he was easily found in the cosmetics aisle of the local supermarket, his favourite place. After having dinner with Evans's family and then a 30-minute car drive to the station, it was time to return home. And that completes day one for Taipei. Early morning start tomorrow.
You like this weather?
As the weather was beautiful, we decided to get some exercise and walk to our first stop for today.
Going to breakfast. And it's getting quite warm.
Soy milk breakfast place.
Yes.
And the weather is beautiful. Nice and sunny, not too much pollution at all.
We arrived at Fu Hung Soy Milk to a very long queue that stretched around the corner. This breakfast bar is very popular with the locals as well as the tourists. After 30 minutes we made it to the counter and we were able to order the food. We had 2 bowls of soy milk and a couple of breakfast buns for less than $10.
We waited for half an hour.
Very good. It's like a piece of bread, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like a pita bread with egg in the middle. It's very nice. And we got some soup too.
I think it's okay. Is it nice? I'm not sure if it's worth a half an hour wait.
So I'm going to go yes.
Yes. And People are very civilized.
Yes.
Mostly tourists. So yes, if you're not in a rush,
And it's good food.
it's healthy. It's very light.
After breakfast, we travelled to the northern part of Taipei City to visit the National Palace Museum. This involved a trip on a local bus with a fairly reckless driver. It was a bit scary. On our arrival to the National Palace Museum, we entered through this very grand gate and walked through the entrance passage that was lined with beautifully maintained trees. There are obvious similarities between the appearance of this building and the Forbidden City. The museum was originally founded in Beijing in 1925 and it was re-established in Taipei in 1965. Unfortunately, the iconic piece, the Jade Cabbage, was not on display for our visit. Evans was a little disappointed as that was the main reason why we went to the museum. We went to Silk's Palace restaurant for lunch as it was the only restaurant in the area. Sticky rice. Because I'm in a foul mood because this place was so expensive. Not a lot of food. Those things there, $5 each.
Probably one of the most expensive places.
Just leaving Silk's Palace restaurant. Glad to see the back of that place. It's so expensive. I'll have to scratch that out. Do not recommend. Beautiful scenery, beautiful weather. The elevated position of the museum provided a really good outlook over the gully below. After lunch we head to the Malkong gondola. It's a 4.3 kilometre system from the bottom to the top and takes about 30 minutes. So we are now trying to find a temple. We walked up a bit of the hill, wrong direction, so now we're on our way to the temple, but it shouldn't be too much further, just down this way. Finally we found it after about 15 minutes of random walking.
Trying to get a ceremony. Yes, wow. Taipei 101.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Gosh, that gon's been going on for about the last half an hour.
About 68% of the Taiwanese population are either Buddhist or Taoist. Buddhism originally came to Taiwan by Chinese settlers in about 1624 under the Dutch rule. But it wasn't until the Japanese rule of Taiwan from 1895 to 1945 that Buddhism gained its popularity. Our second gondola stop was right at the top at the Malkong village. The village has numerous tea houses and restaurants perched right on the cliff top. Naturally, we couldn't refuse a matcha ice cream. The roads here are very narrow, perched right on the cliff. Luckily there are plenty of trees to stop you going over the edge. Malkong is clearly a tourist hotspot with expansive views over Taipei City. It's a shame that today was cloudy, we couldn't see very far. The next stop is the Songshan Siyo Temple.
That will do. Sounds good. Yeah. So the night market must be.
Right next to the temple is the Railhurst Street night market. We found the Fuzhou Shizu baked pepper bun store. It's Michelin rated, so we had to try it.
65 each.
These buns are stuffed with pork, green onions and black pepper. Then they are broiled to perfection on the inner walls of a charcoal-fired oven. It's a bit like a tandoori oven.
Oh, 对不起，我可以给你150吗？对不起，对不起，我也算是50。It was a 50 plus 500.
The black pepper bun was delicious. I just forgot to film myself eating it. I did manage to film Evans eating his bun later that evening.
Yummy. So that's the piece.
It's like a it's basically like a bun, but they pan fry it, don't they?
It's really good.
Probably the best one tonight.
Yeah, it is by far.
By far.
Next up was a peculiar looking fruit.
100.
100.
一点点。对。好，谢谢你，谢谢。So he says a load. It depends on how long you want to go for. About, yeah, he says not too busy tonight.
The markets have plenty of life, plenty of colour, and plenty of smells.
That's the best
It's
tofu.
tofu, isn't it?
Oh.
Smell it.
Is there anything else you want us to look at?
No, I'm just wondering. Just anything that looks palatable, we will buy.
Looks like? I think we're just meant to eat on the go. Do you want to try this? This is like a little crunchy fruit.
Visiting this market was a fantastic way to see the local culture and to experience some cheap Taiwanese food.
You want some?
I'll try a piece.
Bye-bye. It's quite long. It's quite long. Right, you're my cutie. Do you want a different one? Yeah, it's very hot.
还有点烫，要小心。
好，谢谢你。
谢谢，谢谢。
Now it's Simon's turn to try and stinky tofu.
I'm just taking a chunk off the corner.
No, you just eat it and I'll just eat the rest.
Really? No, I'm
Yes.
just going to take a chunk. Because that way if I need to spit it out, it's easy to do.
Well, there's the bush you can spit out under there. So you're gonna cover the taste with a bit of like cabbage.
It comes later. Initially,
You look at the camera. Yes.
the first crunch, not too bad,
Yes.
but then the taste comes.
Yes.
The problem for me is I can still taste it and it smells like sewage. Here you go. Have the rest.
And that winds up day 2 of Taiwan. Home to bed for an early start on day 3. We've woken up to another beautiful warm day, and our first stop was a short metro ride to Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall. The hall is a national monument built in memory of Chiang Kai-shek, the former president of the Republic of China. It is a significant cultural and historical site, also used for public gatherings and performances. The grounds are vast and meticulously landscaped. The National Theatre and Concert Hall are adjacent to the main pedestrian area. These buildings are almost identical and demonstrate Taiwanese architecture beautifully. Unfortunately, we could not go inside these buildings today because we were outside of visiting hours. We then took a 10-minute metro ride to Taipei 101. We previously arranged to meet some friends at Din Tai Fung for lunch. Evans couldn't resist the shops at Taipei 101 shopping centre. The mall is huge with plenty of designer labels, and there are vast open spaces spanning multiple levels.
So Evans is inside Taipei 101 having a shop, but there's only so much shopping that I can stand, so I'm having a walk around now. Seeing some of Taipei. Pretty active scene going on here.
I stumble across a street that looks like it will be pumping with people tonight. It's a shame we won't have time to come back and look at this later. After browsing the streets for about half an hour, I decide to head back to Taipei 101 to meet Evans so that we can go up to the observation deck. The building is 508 metres tall and has 101 stories. The observation deck is on the 89th floor and the elevator takes 37 seconds to get there. At the top we see vast views over Taipei City. The metropolitan area is extremely flat, near sea level, and there are skyscrapers everywhere. Once again our view is limited due to the hazy air. On the other side of the building we can see the hills and the surrounding districts. We intend to walk up one of these nearby hills later tonight to get a nice view of Taipei 101. Taipei 101 is one of the most structurally sound buildings in the world, being located only 200 metres from a major fault line and enduring typhoon winds up to 216 kilometres per hour. Stability of this building became a top priority. This 660 metric ton tuned mast damper significantly reduces the sway of the building during high winds or earthquakes. It's huge and those cables are 12 centimetres thick. Now that it's dark, we head our way up to Xiangshan, which is otherwise known as Elephant Mountain. The path is rather steep with a lot of stairs, and it's also very warm. The lighting is great, so there are still plenty of people going up to the top after dark. Here we are walking up Elephant Mountain, and it's hot work. Bunch of others, and me sweating like a pig because it is so damn hot. At the top we see that iconic view of Taipei 101, so it's photo time. After descending the hill and having chance to cool down, it's time for dinner. We have chosen to have a traditional Taiwanese meal. Evans is having egg and oysters, and I'm having a pork cutlet. A side of soup and rice was really good as well. After dinner we head back to the hotel, and that wraps up day 3 of Taipei. We start day 4 at Huashan 1914 Creative Park. There are many arts and crafts stores, and a couple of areas dedicated to the visual arts. There was quite a lot of the same, so we decided to move on to the electronics hub. Syntrend is a modern electronics shopping plaza spanning multiple levels. There was lots to look at, but not a lot to buy, as the pricing in Taiwan is no better than it is in Australia. All the common international brands are present within this plaza. After looking through a couple of the levels, everything was much the same, so we decided to get some food. Just by chance we came across this really nice food court in the basement of the electronics plaza. We settled on the chicken cutlet and the seasoned rice. Next, Evans wanted to try a traditional Taiwanese dessert, so we've got taro mash, grass jelly, and shaved ice.
Take 4. Take 2.
As I have a sweet tooth, this was a nice dessert to try. The second electronics market also spans multiple floors. This one seemed more local, with lots of little niche stores and no fancy shop fronts. If we were in the mood to be buying, I think we'd find our best bargains here. Shopping using English would be more of a challenge for sure. Up to this point in our holiday, we'd seen the very polished side of Taiwan. I wanted to get away from the tourist areas and into some back alleys to see some of the local grit that Taiwan has to offer. In the very eastern part of Zhongjiang district, I found what I was looking for. Here we have very narrow laneways, often without footpaths. There are plenty of motorcycles sharing the road with pedestrians. The shops and food outlets are very local and a little bit rough around the edges. It's great to see how some of the locals live within this bustling city. We head back to the metro station for the next leg of our itinerary. On our way to the Songshan Cultural and Creative Park, we stumbled across the National Dr. Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall, We decided to take a look, but unfortunately it was closed for renovations. We walked by the Taipei Dome, which accommodates both sporting events and concerts. Finally, we reached the Songshan Cultural and Creative Park. The main building here was previously a tobacco factory that ceased operations in 1998. In 2011, the former factory was repurposed into this creative park to provide venues for diverse cultural and creative exhibitions and performances. Today we see a huge range of arts and crafts stalls and beautifully presented goods. There is something in the air that just smells really nice.
Smells nice?
Smells nice.
It does. Fragrance, I think.
We accidentally found the Taiwan Design Museum but didn't have time to go in. Instead, we jump back on the metro and head towards Ximen Station. Here we will find the Ximending shopping district, which will be packed full of locals and tourists doing their shopping and eating.
I told you, it's very touristy.
We can't help but notice that there are plenty of rainbows here. Now that it's night time, we will dive in and see what Ximending has to offer. We decide to have dinner at this very popular restaurant. Essentially, you choose what you want and they fry it up. There were loads of things to choose from. Some of them looked familiar, some of them didn't. The aim is to mark down on the card what you want and then hand it to the cashier. We wait for about 5 minutes for our food to be cooked up, and they add extra herbs and spices to make it really tasty.
Alrighty, so we've just picked up our food. Show us what you've got.
Oh. Black pudding.
Black pudding.
Popcorn chicken.
Popcorn chicken. Is it good?
We decide to try Taiwan's signature bubble milk drink. It's not actually tea, it's more like a milkshake. This place is that busy that they're making them by the hundreds. It's the only company that makes their boba fresh. It's fascinating to see them pop the dough into the machines and then the little balls get spit out the bottom.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
It was sure worth the wait.
Any good?
It's very milky, it's all milk.
As the streets were bustling, I decided to walk down another food alley for the atmosphere. There was plenty of good food and a whole lot of people enjoying it. And that wraps up Taiwan for this trip. Tomorrow the whole day is travelling from Taipei to Tokyo, so we'll pick up the video again once we are in Tokyo. The airport train station is chaos. There were only 5 ticket vending machines and the queue was huge. The tickets we purchased were not for reserved seats, so we had to change seats about 3 times on our 1 hour and 10-minute journey to Shinagawa Station. At Shinagawa Station, we were expecting to transfer to the Yamanote line. However, due to track work, we had to catch a taxi for our final leg to the hotel. We will spend 4 days at Omo 5 Gotanda. This is a brand new hotel that only opened a couple of weeks before our arrival. The room is spacious for Tokyo, but it is still very cramped. The hand basin is in the bedroom. There is a tiny collapsible table, 1 stool, and tatami mats on the floor. There is a very fancy Japanese bidet toilet to use. The bathroom is much larger than it needs to be, with a full-on bath. But I guess the Japanese do like their baths.
The challenges of Japan. Trying to fit the luggage in the bloody luggage holder. and they don't fit.
After a good sleep in, we head down to breakfast at 9:30 a.m.
Having breakfast in Tokyo.
Beautiful morning.
I've ordered the American breakfast, and Evans has ordered the Japanese breakfast. We start our day by heading out to Gotunda Station, a 10-minute walk from the hotel. The weather is very overcast, but it's actually quite warm. We jump onto the Yamanote train as we plan to visit Ueno Park. Here we see plenty of lush green trees and lots of open pedestrian spaces. There are a few residual dying cherry blossoms on these trees, but nothing impressive to look at. The main walkway is divided by this beautiful fountain. We came across a sake festival, so we went in to have a look. Evans couldn't resist a bite to eat.
Fried oysters.
The silence means that the oysters are pretty good. Apparently this singing duo is quite famous. Honestly, I thought they struggled a bit. We found the Tokyo National Museum, but we didn't have time to have a look through on this visit. Next we jumped on the metro and headed to Asakusa Station. The streets are very busy as this is one of the tourist hotspots. It was not long before we found Asakusa Thunder Gate, also known as Kaminaramon. Its more formal name is Furaijinmon, which literally means the gate of the wind god and thunder god. This is the main entrance to Sensoji Temple, which is the oldest temple in Tokyo. We traversed down Nakamisidori Street towards the temple grounds. This is one of Japan's oldest shopping arcades, and it is packed full of people. The shops cater for both tourists and locals, selling everything from food, shoes, souvenirs, and magazines. Occasionally we see locals dressed up in kimonos, the traditional Japanese dress. We've reached the second gate, so we'll go inside to have a look at the temple itself. As with any temple, there is plenty of incense, and there are many people lining up to pay their respects and to pray to their Buddha. It's traditional to wash your hands before entering a Buddhist temple. This dragon fountain is designed for just that. Inside the temple, people stand to pray and throw coins into the offering bin. On leaving the temple, we can see the iconic pagoda. Apparently it looks very lovely when lit up at night. It's time for lunch, and sushi is on the menu. It was also a chance to try some matcha ice cream in Japan. The next stop was Tokyo Skytree. This broadcasting and observation tower was opened in 2012. It has a full height of 634 metres, making it the tallest tower in the world, and the third tallest structure in the world. Our view today is limited due to the low-lying cloud. Unfortunately, Mount Fuji was not to be seen. There are multiple observation levels, and we paid a little extra to go up to the highest deck at a total height of 451.2 metres. One of the decks has a glass floor area, so you can look straight down the side of the tower. We then took the metro to Shinjuku. This is a youthful, lively hub of Tokyo with plenty of nightlife, bright lights, sounds and action. We step aside from the pumping streets so we can get some dinner. We've decided on ramen noodles and gyoza dumplings. And we still have rice and gyoza to come. Go on, try it. It's good. Good soup. Nice. After dinner, we head back out into the bustle to do some shopping. The shoe shops are in abundance and they are huge. It seems that sneakers are really popular in Japan. It wasn't hard to find the Onitsuka Tiger store. Unfortunately, they didn't have my size. After we'd finished our shopping, we navigate Shinjuku Station to catch the train back to the hotel. See you tomorrow for Tokyo Day 2. Our first stop for Day 2 is Meiji Jingu, or in English, Meiji Shrine. The complex is located in the Shibuya district, and it is a huge contrast to the bustle that we would normally see in this suburb. Meiji Shrine is located in a forest that covers an area of 70 hectares. The evergreen forest consists of 120,000 trees of 365 different species. These trees were donated by the people from all parts of Japan when the shrine was established. This wooden torii gate is the largest in Japan, standing at 12 metres. The shrine construction commenced in 1915 and it was built using primarily Japanese cypress and copper. The building of the shrine was a national project mobilising youth groups and other civic associations from throughout Japan who contributed labour and funding. The original building was destroyed during the Tokyo air raids of World War II. The present iteration of the shrine was funded through a public fundraising effort and completed in October 1958. On leaving the shrine, we found this remote path winding through the forest. It was a beautiful moment to soak up the peace and the nature before heading back out onto the streets of Shibuya. After the serenity, we decide to head across the road into Harajuku. Harajuku is known internationally as a centre of Japanese youth culture and fashion. Shopping and dining options include many small, youth-oriented, independent boutiques and cafes. But the neighbourhood also attracts many larger international chain stores with high-end luxury brands. The most iconic street to visit is Takashira Street, and here we are. This street is always so busy that it's open to pedestrians only. It is famous for its unique and trendy fashion, cute goods, and delicious food. Takashira Street is a must-visit for anyone exploring Harajuku's eccentric atmosphere. After a 30-minute metro ride, we arrive in Ginza. This is one of the city's top shopping districts. Ginza is packed with upmarket boutiques and ritzy cocktail and sushi bars. There are also numerous department stores, art galleries, nightclubs and cafes. Most of the shops in Ginza are open 7 days a week, and shopping can be most pleasant on weekend afternoons when the central Chuodori Street is closed to the cars. Whilst in Ginza, Evans had to pay a visit to the Yamaha music store. This is a building with 7 floors of Yamaha instruments, from keyboards, pianos, brass, woodwind and percussion. The grand pianos were of particular interest. We figured out that we could buy a piano in Japan, ship it to Australia, and it would still be more affordable than buying it in Australia. We enter the flagship Onitsuka Tiger shoe store. It's mega busy with lots of styles to choose from. But after my experience the night before in Shinjuku, I'm wondering if they have my size at this store. I thought I was in luck when she said she had a size 10. I have always worn a size 10 in this shoe. Unfortunately, the 10 that she produced today was just too small. And she didn't have a size 11.
Oh, it's small.
I bought the size 10 hoping that they would stretch, but I ended up returning them the following day. After more disappointing shoe shopping, we decided to grab the metro to return home to the hotel. The metro was pretty busy for our 15-minute journey. In the basement of our hotel is a food court.
Oh, they're closed at 8.
It's getting close to closing time, so we rush in for dinner.
Yeah, happy to do ramen.
Ramen is served, I have the fried ramen, Evans has the soup. It was a nice feed, but pretty pricey.
Both very tired and hungry.
And that wraps up Tokyo Day 2. After waking up late, we had to rush to receive our pre-ordered breakfast by 9:30 AM. Evans went for the Japanese, and I went for the American. The day starts out a little cool and overcast and slightly windy. We take the metro and then a short walk to our destination, which is the Tokyo Imperial Palace. The palace grounds are surrounded entirely by this moat. At this point, the scenery was slightly unimpressive, but we didn't realise we were entering through the back door. On the inside, there are expansive gardens. As it is spring, there is plenty of green and pockets of colour everywhere. We can't help but notice the vast areas of unmaintained grounds. The grass hasn't been cut for a long time, the weeds are thriving, and just don't even look at the edges. I guess we were expecting the grounds to be a little tidier considering this is such a prominent tourist attraction. Evans was very unimpressed.
Very ordinary.
But it's the Tokyo Imperial Palace. And it's very ordinary.
Very understated.
Oh well. We haven't actually seen the palace yet, so we'd best go have a look at it. That might change your mind.
As we approach the palace itself, the grounds do start to look a little tidier. When I zoom in, I can catch a peek of an important building over the top of the very tall hedge. We exit the palace through the main entrance. I've realised that I've missed an iconic photo opportunity, so we head up the main path to get a better vantage point. Here we see the historical landmark of Sakurada Tatsumiyakura. This building was built in 1457 as part of the original Edo castle. In modern times, it is now incorporated as part of the Tokyo Imperial Palace. We thought we had missed the cherry blossom season, but to our amazement we found this solo cherry tree in late bloom. As this tree was in the commercial district with few tourists, we had a lot of time to admire these blossoms right up close. The pink and white tones are certainly very eye-catching, and it's obvious why the cherry blossom season is a massive tourist attraction. In the early afternoon, we head to Shibuya to spend the rest of the day here. Shibuya is a special ward in Tokyo. It is a major commercial centre, and Shibuya houses two of the busiest railway stations in the world, that is Shibuya Station and Shinjuku Station. The estimated population is about 230,000 and a population density of 15,260 people per square kilometre. In layperson's terms, it means this place is just packed full of people. There are plenty of shops, plenty of restaurants, and plenty of things to look at to pass our time. The selection of quality leather business shoes in this store alone was just phenomenal.
Bought another pair of shoes because I returned the other ones because they were too small. So this is round 2. Woo!
Eating at IKEA Swedish Bistro, we enjoyed a hot dog and ice cream. I've learnt the lesson that eating on camera is never flattering. This tree-lined street is particularly beautiful, and it will look amazing in summer with full green foliage. We came across a department store full of Japanese goods. Evans couldn't resist a once around the pet department. As night begins to fall and the workers are coming home from work, the streets start to become noticeably more busy. We head into the back laneways to avoid the crowds and to look for something to eat. We decide on this soup bar. We order our dinner on the screen before going inside to take a seat.
You eat it?
Yep, I think that's right.
After feeling satisfied from dinner, there was only one thing left to do in Shibuya, and that is to head to the Shibuya Scramble Crossing. This intersection is frequently recognised as the busiest pedestrian intersection in the world, with almost no loss of foot traffic at midnight or early morning. The number of pedestrians crossing this intersection can be as much as 3,000 per green light every 2 minutes. We've just got the green light, so let's go. On the other side of the street there is plenty of congestion, but it's amazing how quickly people go their own way and the crowd disperses. We head to Shibuya Station to catch the train back to the hotel. It is very busy, but everybody is polite and orderly. And that wraps up day 3 of Tokyo. Here we are at the airport after nearly missing the Narita Express as Evans got lost after using the bathroom at Shinagawa Station. The food here was nice but mighty expensive. Our flight to Sydney involves a 6-hour layover at Taipei Airport. Right, and what's on the menu?
Yeah, I'm going to have a 7
The meals are beautiful. I have the beef penne, and Evans has the traditional Japanese seafood. At Taipei Airport we have the best part of 6 hours to kill. At this time the airport is dead and we are just walking up and down the aisles to try and get our step count up. Before too long we have boarded our second flight, bound for Sydney. And that wraps up our Taipei and Tokyo journey for 2025. Thank you for watching.